And then I told him, "You suck." Maybe it was. Do you wanna say it one more time so that people can hear you?
I knew we were on live. We were, I knew we were live. That's why I said it.
Welcome everyone to another edition of OT Graps, the show that kind of comes to you every Tuesday when every one of us isn't dealing with something. Man, this time it was me. Most of the time it's me. If you like that, I apologize. But we're back. It's summer and
Trevor,
it's OT Graps.
secrets.
Yay.
Yeah, that still needs a lot of work.
Yeah, that's not the only thing that doesn't work here. Um, Speaking of things that don't work, Trevor, Matt Cardona, where's your boy at?
He didn't come, did it? He didn't show up, did he?
Dude, no, he anywhere. He's hasn't been anywhere. He's supposed to be
That
like in
I haven't seen him
line.
in like
Like he's supposed
weeks, actually.
dude's supposed to be in line for a championship match. It's disappeared. I wonder where he's going. I don't even know why I had this like cheesy grin on my face right now.
I
I
don't
just like
either. Like,
I feel like you remember that episode of Family Guy where Brian like lost his teeth and became like like got like the dentures and not the
his
dentures.
cheeks all stuck out like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he became like a retail guy or a real estate guy. That's how what I feel like.
Are you a real estate guy now?
Maybe, or maybe I'm just Roman Reigns, my big fake teeth. By the way, Roman Reigns did get veneers. He 100% got veneers. Look
Well,
at his.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah,
No,
I'm almost positive he did.
I'm not almost positive. I am like 100 million% positive. You look at the picture of his teeth from 2015 and a picture of his teeth now. Them pearly whites, those are veneers, my G. He got them fake
Hey, if
teeth
you
in
can
there.
afford them, why not? Right?
I mean, look, yes, why not? But also, I can't think of a reason not to. I mean, he looks beautiful. That's a beautiful hunk of a man.
Most
Please
women
don't
think
hurt
so.
me as I and some men.
I'm into. You're right. Yeah,
You got a problem with that? Huh?
not at all.
Good, good,
Man,
good. No, we are an
you
inclusive
trying to
show.
start something?
Start beef. No, no, no. Um, Welcome to the show. This is about wrestling. We talk about it sometimes, in between all the other
Every once
crap.
in a while.
We got a lot of topics to touch on. You got Sami Uso, no more. Sami Zayn turns on the Bloodline at Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley wins the Women's Rumble. Odie Rhodes wins the Men's Rumble. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the career and the life of Jay Briscoe. Um, and a few things in between. So buckle up, tighten up, put your questions in the chat, put your comments in the chat. Just don't be mean in the chat, and we'll all have a good time. Trevor, before we get to any of that, though, I think we have some business to attend to.
Yeah, I think we do. Uh, another week
Icebreaker.
of icebreakers. All right.
Hmm.
I'm not sure I asked you this one before. I was trying to go through stuff that I haven't asked you because we've asked each other a lot of things. So the question to you is, out of all your wonderful time of watching good wrestling, bad wrestling, and in the middle wrestling, who was one of the few managers that stuck out to you? Who's one of your favorite managers?
Okay, so
That face.
I have a few that I really enjoyed. I mean, obviously, if we're talking about like who is the best manager of all time, it is very hard to find someone who is better than Bobby the Brain Heenan. I think
Absolutely.
the like him as a manager even back in the 80s and 90s, it still holds up today. Like still
Oh yeah,
holds up
yeah,
today. Like and it's like not even close to a lot of people. Paul Heyman is always also in that conversation.
yeah.
Um Someone who I really liked, who didn't pan out in the way that I thought he would was Jake Roberts in AEW as the Murder Hawk
Yeah.
Monster, manager, because he came in and he did that insane promo on Cody. Like, by the way, early days of AEW, like pre-pandemic, were like halfway between like a fever dream and like just insanity. It's just a weird time to look back on. I want to go back and watch like those early episodes of Dynamite because yes,
Yeah,
there are
same.
some massive problems in that show, but you have those nuggets of just gold, like the Cody Rhodes MJF whipping segment, the the ungoddamn deniable promo from Cody. A lot of stuff involving Cody. Come to think of
Yeah,
it,
it
all the
was
good stuff
actually.
in AEW early on involved Cody. All the other stuff was crap. Um, but but in all
That's
seriousness, I mean, it is. I mean, yeah, I would say like recently, Jake Roberts. If I go back, I mean, again, I'm trying to think. Right, it's trying to think who there's probably someone like in WCW in like 2000 that like was like total hot garbage and
that
Sonny.
was a couple of.
Sonny in WCW
Oh,
was so bad. But
when
like
she was with Chris Candido.
it was so bad, but it was so
Yeah,
good because it
yeah.
was just like she would come out like, "Hey there, boys, it's the Show Me State." And I'm like, Sonny, it's been 2 years. What has happened?
I mean, she wasn't great on in WWE. I mean, but she was better then than she was in WCW. I mean, you only paid attention to her because she was with Chris Candido after a while.
Yeah. God bless Chris Candido. Trevor, save me from the segment.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Bobby the Brain Heenan, definitely. I was a fan of Jimmy Cornette because he was just
He's not a fan of
ridiculous.
you. He's not a fan of you, buddy.
I can't stand me. No.
Like, I
He
guess you
was
like that Marky All Elite Marky Wrestling, mother trucker.
he was so funny. Like the amount of times I've seen him hit people with the tennis racket was absolutely insane. Um, of course, I've I mean, even though it was only a few people, but I've especially people from my age range. Paul Ellering was also a good one.
Paul
Precious Paul,
Ellering was underrated in NXT.
he
Like,
was, he really
like he
was.
he and the Authors of Pain worked in NXT, and it's a
Oh
damn
yeah,
shame that they didn't have him do the same thing on the main roster.
yeah. I would have loved to see him do that. Like Paul Ellering, Precious Paul is what they call him. I I love Paul Ellering. Paul Ellering was fun. It was a bunch of good ones. I mean, honestly, out of the ones that were there, probably Paul Bearer and
Oh, yeah.
probably um
Oh,
Paul Ellering. Yeah.
oh, yes.
Oh,
All the things, my Undertaker.
yeah.
Oh,
There were some terrible ones too, though. Like you said, absolute terrible ones. Oh,
oh.
another one that was in between terrible and funny as hell. Umaga's manager,
You mean Armando
Armando
Alejandro
Alejandro Estrada.
Estrada. And everybody listen to me. Ah. Oh my God,
A
Armando Estrada,
Samoan bulldozer.
former ECW general manager,
Yes.
Armando Alejandro Estrada. My oh
Yes.
my. By the way, you want to know a fun fact about Armando Alejandro Estrada? You want to know a fun fact about
I would love a
Armando?
fun fact about Armando Alejandro Estrada.
Guess what Armando Alejandro Estrada wasn't?
What
Cuban.
his planet? Yeah. Wasn't
Guess
he
what?
Middle Eastern?
Yeah. Because WWE is so good. They're like, WWE is so good at like doing the worst things. It's like we're gonna
We don't
we'll
want you to be your actual race. Want you to be something else.
it's well, what can you do but laugh? Like you're ridiculous. This is $1 billion
Yeah, at this point,
company.
you just gotta laugh, man. You just gotta
Ah,
laugh because it's ridiculous.
Armando.
Or
Now
cry.
William Regal though, whenever he would introduce Umanga, it's like one of the funniest things.
Umanga was funny. And
Yes,
Umanga!
Umanga, Umanga. You will go one on one tonight with Umanga.
Umanga. Enjoy yourself. Like,
Blood
who's
and
Umanga?
guts. Oh my gosh. William Regal coming back into WWE and immediately Vince walks in the room like, could you imagine that? He's like sitting there, he's like, I'm the VP of talent now. This is great. And Vince comes in, oh, I fired you. It's like, oh dear, Tony Khan, you still hiring, buddy?
Howard, I need a job. Oh dear.
So take him back in a heartbeat. I don't care. I
Oh,
don't
he
care.
would.
Take him
Oh,
back
he
in a
would. He
heartbeat. Let's
better.
go. Um.
Mm.
Anyway, we got Darius in the chat saying, "I wonder why Jey Uso walked out at the Royal Rumble." Well,
We're
Trevor,
gonna talk about it.
let's talk about it right now. So at the Royal Rumble, Sami Uso, well, no more. Sami Zayn was faced with a choice. He could either choose. Oh, there we go. He could either choose between staying in the bloodline and attacking Kevin Owens, a prone, handcuffed Kevin Owens with a steel chair, or he could do what many believe to be the honorable thing and refuse to and take matters into his own hands and turn on the bloodline. Trevor, I want you to guess which one of those two things happened.
He picked flowers. No, he turned on the bloodline. Of course he
Let's
did.
Yep, he turned. So Sami Uso. So sorry, Sami Zayn. I got so used to saying that. Anyway, Sami Zayn turned on the bloodline in the main event of the Royal Rumble. It was, in my opinion, one of the best segments WWE has ever done. Period. Like this
Yeah.
angle, it's an all-timer. It's something we're gonna be watching 30 years from now and being like, this was just an all-time wrestling moment. And it is to the credit of Sami Zayn. It is to the credit of Roman Reigns. It is to the credit of Jey Uso. Everyone involved in the story has been absolutely great outside of Kevin Owens. And it is in my humble opinion that I was really hoping that you would give me crap for shitting on Kevin Owens there.
I thought you liked Kevin Owens.
I do like Kevin. I was just looking for. Well, it's a show. I'm trying to get supposed to bounce off me. Come
I'm so
on.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So that's my fault.
Anyway,
We'll do
anyway,
it again.
anyway. Anyway. So Roman Reigns defeats Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. After the match, the bloodline comes out, beats him up more, handcuffs him, super kicks him to the ropes. It's brutal attack. And then Roman Reigns is about to hit him with a steel chair, finish the job, take out Kevin Owens once and for all. And then Sami Zayn puts himself in between Roman Reigns and his best friend Kevin Owens. And he says, "This is enough. You shouldn't do this." And Roman looks at him and says, "You're right. I shouldn't do this." Hands the chair to Sami Zayn, tells him, "This is your final test as a member of the bloodline." And instead of hitting Kevin Owens, Sami
Yeah.
Zayn takes that steel chair to the back of Roman Reigns, a la Seth Rollins in 2014 when he broke up the Shield, puts the chair down, looks at Jey Uso specifically and says, "I'm sorry."
Yep. Yep. It was great storytelling, by the way. Very good storytelling. Some of the best storytelling WWE's done in a long time, honestly.
Ever. Like
And
this is up there for me as an angle. This is right up there with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon in the
yeah,
late 90s. Like
yeah.
this is
It's if you followed that far, the Boyhood Dream, Shawn Michaels is up there with that one as well. Like,
doesn't hold
uh,
a candle to this.
oh,
The
it
boyhood
really doesn't.
dream.
It doesn't.
Whose
But I'm just
dream?
saying,
Whose
it was
dream
Shawn
was
Michaels.
it was a
No,
boyhood nightmare. Oh, that's a great. If I ever become a wrestler, I'm gonna tag on the boyhood nightmare. I'm so sorry.
but no, like that was one of the stories they had that was made any sense. But anyway, it doesn't hold a candle to this. This was excellent storytelling. Excellent. It's one of those things that one of those things where I would have liked it if they did it a little differently, but it honestly, I want to see how it's going to pan out into the future of this story.
Yeah, I mean, it is just I was reading this thread and I want to read like a little part of this thread, right?
Mm-hmm.
To just like it's a very long thread. I retweeted it on my Twitter. If you guys want to go follow at Hollywood J Black, spelled BLAQ. He had this like amazing thread just running through the entire Bloodline storyline, going back to Jey Uso and Roman Reigns' match at Hell in a Cell in 2020. So he writes this. He says that, as you know, he, Sami Zayn, was welcomed in by everyone except Jey Uso. Jey Uso felt that Sami's intentions were not honorable. Why? It's because it's easy to say, quote, he didn't like him or he didn't trust him, but it's actually deeper than that. I refer back to my Hell in a Cell recap where I said that Roman Reigns choked out his cousin in order to force the other cousins to say, I quit, to keep his title. That is the core
Right.
memory that will stay with Jey Uso forever. And knowing what Roman will do, he questioned why Sami wants to be with them. But Sami proved his love and his loyalty to everyone in the bloodline. He's given advice to Solo Sikoa. He's formed a bond with Jimmy, easily fell in line whenever Roman Reigns wanted him to. Sami Zayn willingly wanted to be there, knowing what Roman Reigns is capable of. And when he finally won over Jey Uso, they became an unstoppable force. Enter Kevin Owens. Um, oh God. Sorry. Enter Kevin Owens. Kevin is like a brother to Sami, the closest thing without bleeding the same blood. Hold on to that thought in your heads for a second. The specifics of their relationship don't matter, but let's go to the Royal Rumble title match. Roman tasked Sami with ending someone who's essentially his brother. He was forced to make a similar decision that Jey made in 2020. Sacrifice your family for the greater good of the bloodline or suffer. We know
Right.
what Sami's choice was. It was the choice that Jey couldn't make all those years ago. In Sami,
Wow.
by saving Kevin Owens, he saw the one person he didn't expect to see, himself. That's why he couldn't join in on the beatdown against Sami Zayn. That's why he had to walk away, because he knows deep down he should have ended Roman first. When I read this thread, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that was long winded and everything, but when I read this thread, Trevor, I was like, like my brain broke. It's so
Yo,
insane.
that was so well written too.
Yes,
My
I mean, again, I'm just gonna drop the actual thread in the chat because it is just it's actually like he ends the thread after a while by saying this is cinema, and I'm like, I'm not one of those people who's like wrestling is cinema and everything like that. But this is cinema. Like what the storyline that has played out over the past 2 years in with the bloodlines absolutely amazing. And that's true,
that's
right?
insane, man.
Jey Uso saw Sami Zayn stand up to Roman Reigns, the one thing that Jey Uso could never do. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, that stare down between Jey and Roman at the end. Oh,
Oh yeah.
I'm just
Oh yeah.
oh, Trevor, please just react. Feed off of that real quick. I'm just so I love
Like it
wrestling.
was, dude. It's one of those things, right? That makes you like happy to be a pro wrestling fan. Like you're like, oh my god, like they're actual still storytellers around, right? Like that was so, that stare down was epic. Like that, and him and you reading that thread and me thinking about it, like yo, like that's so deep, and it's like and it's actually true. Like he couldn't do it. He couldn't end his cousin. He couldn't put him down. Like you're like, man, like that is it's actually kind of poetic in a way, right? Like because like it is written out like I mean he wrote that out like a movie, definitely. Like and it's put together kind of like a movie. You're like, oh man, like I can't wait for the rest of it. Like SmackDown, I thought they were going to come out on Raw. I didn't see all of Raw, so I don't know if they did.
Oh,
But
Roman doesn't come out in the B show. He comes out on SmackDown on Fox Friday nights. Michael.
so, and I also want to hear his reply to Cody Rhodes. Dude, what is up with Cody Rhodes putting these soliloquies out that are these promos?
I
Like, my God, dude.
corny ass Cody Rhodes is like my favorite thing ever. He is like he knows exactly what he is. He is the corniest dude of all time. Like the amount of times that they have like come out with that undeniable or like undesirable to undeniable, uncrowned. I'm just like, all right, come on, guys. Like, can we stop this? Like, and him, even him doing like the Bullet Club thing at the Royal Rumble when he went, like, I was like,
Right.
all right, come on, Cody, you're a wee bit corny. But that's what he was, and that's probably why he was a better fit for WWE than he was AEW, because he
True.
is a bit of a more, I guess, traditional sports entertainer, you know?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yes.
You know.
Yes?
Oh, you want me to feed more? Yeah, I'm sorry. Probably. I mean, like I like Cody Rhodes, right? I always like Cody Rhodes, but like you said, like he kind of and he it's that old school type. Oh, I'm a face type guy, like and it is weird because he didn't start out that way. Like especially with his work at RH, he was this
It was the
high
American Nightmare, the heel Cody Rhodes, yeah.
right. He was this high caliber heel, and like you didn't expect him to be this mushy mashed potato face. You know what I mean? Like
Mushy mashed potato. Mushy mashed potato with green beans and mac and cheese on the side as Cody,
that
like,
good stuff. Um, but
unseasoned as bland boy. Ah, nah, let me stop. Let me stop.
you didn't expect that. Like I didn't expect him to come over WWE and be that honestly. But that's what he is. That's what he wants to be. Hey, if it works for anybody, it works for Cody Rhodes, right?
It
So
does. He's like the one dude who can get away with those corny promos and like still like come off
and
as a
the
star.
crowd just eats it up.
And it works. It works. Like, it works for me too. We got Darius
Oh
in the
yeah,
chat saying, "What the Bloodline will do this Friday night on SmackDown." Uh, I hope they gotta have a follow up here. I don't care what it is, whether it's Sami Zayn coming out and like explaining his actions, or Roman Reigns saying that I am the tribal chief, and next week Jey Uso, you will answer to me. Why does my Roman Reigns sound like Ultimate Warrior? Um,
that's not Roman,
Roman Reigns,
but okay.
you and the Rocket, or Jey Uso, you and the Rocket Fuel will find yourself on a ride to Friday Night SmackDown next week. Uh,
It's horrible.
I don't know. Can you do a better Roman Reigns than I can?
No, I can't.
Try it out. Come on, try it out.
I already know I can't because
Come
I
on.
didn't. How does Roman even sound? Like he just sounds like
Like, kind of like the Ultimate Warrior.
a little bit like he sounds like like if
I'm the
it's only
tribal chief. Nobody's gonna
it's
get me.
only
I'm
few
the
people
tribal
that I
chief.
can
Me. That's all he
listen
says.
to read a book. That's it.
But that's like all he ever says. He's just like, I'm the tribal chief.
I'm the
Acknowledge
king of the
me.
family.
Me,
I'm the
like,
head of the table. Acknowledge
I'm the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Acknowledge me.
me.
West
Acknowledge
Philadelphia. Born and raised.
me. Yeah,
Pensacola, Florida. Born and
and
raised.
apparently he's a Jordan fan too.
That fits. We got we got Steve in the chat saying, "Did you guys think that The Rock was going to come out at the end?" I thought he was going to come out at the end. I didn't think so. I mean, I don't think The Rock is going. Like, he's not going to be at WrestleMania, like, now confirmed. But I don't think it was in the cards this year. From everything that we've heard, they would have announced it
No,
beforehand.
not at all.
Ryan Woodridge in the
It'd have
chat.
been nice. No.
Ryan Woodridge in the chat says, "Hi, bro. What is your favorite Sega Genesis game?" Uh, what is it? Sega Game Gear? What, Trevor?
Oh, Game
What is it? What is it? Yeah, this is old people talk. Explain.
Okay, so Sega Game Gear games for the okay, so Sega Game Gear, for those who don't know, Sega Game Gear was Sega's answer to the Game Boy. It was a black, like rectangular thing that you couldn't really fit in your pocket. It took 12, was it six or it was either eight or six double A's on six double A's. You put it in or whatever, and you can play games on it. You can play Sonic. They had all kinds of different games on it. Yeah, I guess my favorite game was Evander Holyfield's boxing. So yeah, that and Tasmania. But That yeah, that's what that is.
All right, cool. I obviously never had one. So, what was your favorite game on it?
Like I said, there was a one game called James Pond. It was a play on James Bond. He was a fish. Um, he I had that one. Also had Evander Holyfield's boxing on it, which was fun. There was a few good games on it. They had Buster Douglas boxing for it. Yes, Buster Douglas had a boxing game. I don't know why, but he did. His only claim to fame was knocking out Mike Tyson once. So, I mean, that's about it. But yeah, it was a interesting system. It only lasted maybe a few years. It couldn't keep up with Game Boy, and a lot of
Oh
people didn't even know about it. IEU.
boy, a Game Boy Advance was like my first like handheld console, and let me tell you something. That Game Boy Advance, I still have that Game Boy Advance.
I still have my SP and my Game Boy Advance.
Nice, nice. We got Darius in the chat saying, "Steven, no, it was supposed to be Sammy versus Roman for the title. I don't think I want it to be that. I genuinely want it to be Sammy
Yeah,
versus Roman for the
we want
title.
to. Yeah,
I think we're going to get a Sammy versus Roman match down the line at some point. Maybe even at Elimination Chamber. It would make sense. It's in
yep.
Montreal, which is Sami Zayn's hometown, but it's not going to be for the title. I don't think. And if it is,
No, I
I
think
think
it's gonna
I
be a
think
grudge match.
I would love it for it to be like some sort of like unsanctioned match or something along those lines where these two just beat the ever living crap out of each other. But it's definitely not going to be for the title. And even if it is, Sammy's not going to win, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Um,
do you think he's title material though? Like
yes.
I think he is, but I know some other people have different opinions about it. But I think he is.
I have a
Now,
question. I mean, I
personally,
mean, I mean, for those people who don't, my sincerest answer to you or my rebuttal would be, who is at the center of the best wrestling story or the best WWE storyline of the past 20 years? Who's at the
Sammy,
center of it? It's Sami Zayn. Like,
Sami Zayn,
and I'm not saying that everyone needs to have the title when they're at their hottest, but one purely as a Sami Zayn fan, like, there's no other time where he's gonna be this hot and where you can put the title on him. And there's no other time where you can circumvent someone like Cody Rhodes. Like, Cody's gonna be champion. Cody is going to be
of
champion
course,
at some point, right? It is gonna happen. My thing is, though, if you put the title on Sami Zayn, like, even if you were if they changed course, which they're not gonna do, if they changed course and ended up putting the title on Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, it would be one of the biggest moments in wrestling history and a culmination, the greatest culmination you could have of the best storyline that one of the best storylines, at least, that WWE's ever told. However,
right,
like, the flip side of that is, what do you do afterwards? And I understand that, but at the same time, the chase is always the best part. That's what you go for. Like, you always go for the chase, and then there's a bit of a lull, but that's what it is. But
right.
I don't know. I just
But
again,
again, that's old school storytelling, right? That's you don't do that much anymore, right? Like they don't have the like. There are plenty of times where I mentioned Shawn Michaels earlier. He won the Royal Rumble and went to WrestleMania to face the champion. He lost and then didn't make it again for a little while. But like that was the part of the story that you liked, though, that chase that Shawn was going through, or any other champion you think of. But yeah, that's the part that you enjoyed, that chase.
Bryan
But
Danielson, or sorry,
oh
Daniel
yeah,
Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, absolutely. That's another one. Yeah, I mean, it again, like I said, it's more of an old school mind of thinking, because nowadays, if you're the number one contender and you've been through a lot of adversities and you've gone through this long of a story, regardless, you're going, you're a fan favorite, you're going to win the championship. We all know it's gonna happen, right? Adam Page, uh, Omega, CM Punk, like it's happened. Look, Becky Lynch, but it's just one of those things. What the hell is that?
What? Yeah, I was gonna say, what did you just do to your poor camera?
I think I just broke it. I don't know how I did it. There we go.
Oh dear,
There you go.
poor camera.
We're back. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. But I would love to see Cody Rhodes. Definitely, I like Cody. We talked about Cody earlier. But honestly, for like $1,000, if like the better story would be Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn would be the better choice.
Would he though?
You don't think he would?
Yes, he would. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. After reading that thread, right now, I'm of the opinion that like it shouldn't be either Sammy or Cody. I want Jay to be the guy now. I'm like, oh, this is so, like,
You know what? Yeah, you're right. That's actually.
and I've always said
But you,
this. I've always said this, right? I'm sorry.
oh, no, you're
Since the
fine.
beginning, I always said Jey Uso taking the title off of Roman Reigns would be the most interesting outcome of all of everything. Like, and I've like maintained that for like different reasons, but now I'm more sure of it than ever. Like, I'm more sure of it than ever. Like, I'm just like putting the title on Jey Uso, like, would just be insane. Oh dear, Liam
Yeah.
is in the chat.
Oh, it's in.
Liam
Liam's in
is
the
in the
chat.
chat. It's booking time, boys.
It's
Welcome.
booking time, baby.
It's booking time. It's time. Who's ready for booking time with Liam 27, baby? Oh,
I
can't
love
wait to
it.
hear that. We got Steve in the chat saying it's going to be at the Elimination Chamber for the title. They're going to make you believe that Sami Zayn's going to beat Roman, but and will come close, but Jay will turn on Sami because he cannot watch Sami beat Roman. It's possible. I could also see a situation. There's a lot of outcomes because the question is right. Like, how do you get to like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos because that's the eventual thing. But at the end of the day, you have to have a match between Roman and Sami, right? Like, their stare down too at the Rumble was just insane. Like, there's I don't know. I'm like in full on like this story has been so good. I'm in full on. I'm gonna sit back, relax, and enjoy this, and not try to overbook, over fantasy book, I should say, it too much. Ryan Woodard said, "Rumor says that Roman could drop the title on Raw to hell no. Oh, drop the Raw title at Elimination Chamber. I don't think they're gonna split it.
No,
He's had the title. He's been the undisputed champ for too long. I don't think they're gonna split it.
I've
Um,
heard them talk about that though. Recently, I've heard them mention this something to that length.
we got Ryan or Steve, I should say, saying no, Ryan, that can't happen. If Roman is losing, he has to lose at WrestleMania in one night. Liam says, I want Jey Uso to beat Roman so much. Well, Liam, you know what you should do if you think that? First of all, everyone should hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Absolutely.
But uh I put a link in the chat earlier on to a Twitter thread that kind of explains the entire Bloodline storyline and like really dissects it, and it's like the greatest thing I've ever read.
I
Well,
think you really like it, Liam. Honestly, it seems like right up your alley. It's something that you would like. Definitely check it out.
yep, definitely check it out. And yeah, be sure to check us out every Tuesday right here. Let's switch gears real quickly and talk about the winners of the Royal Rumble. Those
Yes,
being
let's do that.
Miss Rhea Ripley, Mommy Rhea Ripley,
Mommy, Rhea
and
Ripley.
the American, or sorry, it's Justin Roberts would say, the American Nightmare.
Uh, okay.
Notice how he doesn't say roads; he says road.
You know whose name I love to hear him say? Moxley. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Moxley. Yeah, it's always funny.
Moxley. Yeah, that's a good one. My favorite though is when he says Dr. Britt Baker, D. And he's just like so chill. He's like the only one he does chill. He's like Dr. Britt Baker, D M D.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one too. I love when he also does like some of the foreign wrestlers and he can't really pronounce their names well.
Oh my god, when he butchers Okada's name.
Oh my
Kazuchika Okada.
god.
We love you,
um,
Justin. Kind of. Maybe. I don't know.
we don't know.
Liam in the chat says Elimination Chamber. Drew, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Escobar, Roman Reigns. for just the Universal title. It's Kevin Owens and Roman left. Sami pulls a 2010 HBK and helps KO win the Universal title. That ain't happening. That ain't
Nope.
happening. Ryan asks, who do I want in the Super Bowl? I wanted the Niners. Well, obviously the Ravens didn't make it, but I was like, this weekend I was rooting for the Niners.
Yeah,
They were
Niners would
down
have
to
been
like their 8th string quarterback. Didn't
fun.
happen, but I mean, at this point, fly Eagles fly. Like,
I kind of wanted Joe Burrow to go back. You know, he's an LSU man. Love LSU. Wanted to see him win, but you know, Mahomes cool. His
yeah,
dad played for the
you're
Red
like,
Sox.
nah, man. You're not trying to see the Eagles win. You're not trying to see the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls in 5 years.
I'm not trying to hear the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Liam in the chat says, Omar, at least give me a reaction. Come on, man. I mean, I gave you a reaction. It's not happening. Like, I don't know what else you want me to. You want me to really react to it? And be like, yeah, that's a. What did CM Punk say about Hangman Page at his press conference? What do I like? It's like, what do I? What was it? What did I do to deserve an empty-headed, freaking dumb dude like Liam 27 to go out there and book an unrealistic wrestling program? What did I do, Trevor? Not a damn thing.
you were nice. That's what it was.
I was really nice there. Liam, we love you. We got Steven saying, do you think they'll have a chamber for the IC title? Maybe, but I think they're gonna do one men's, one women's. So I think it's gonna be one for the US title and then maybe one for probably the SmackDown women's title. Or sorry, the Raw women's title, excuse me, the one that Bianca Belair has. Because
Yeah,
they've kind of already decided that Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair is going to be the program. And that has a very good story to it as well. So I'm excited to
does.
see that.
I hope they
Trevor,
do it well because the last time they fought, it was to be desired. But
Liam says, I'm gonna go look at the tweet. Hope your attitude is fixed up by the time I get back.
God, I love Liam.
He's a fun one, isn't he? Anyway, Trevor, reaction and thoughts on Cody winning the men's Royal Rumble at number 30. And Gunter breaking the record for the longest time in the Royal Rumble at 1
I'm
hour,
not even
11
gonna lie to
minutes.
you. At that point, I was like, "Come on, Gunther, come on, dude, come on, Gunther." Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have refused to call him Gunther. I call him Walter. I still call him Walter. I don't care what anyone else says. But at that point, I really wanted to be him. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really wanted to be him. He put on an excellent performance in the Royal Rumble. He's been doing well anyway. Like a lot of his championship matches, title matches, like he's been having great programs with a lot of different wrestlers. I would have loved to see him win it, but him and Cody in the ring was, even though it was a brief second, was pretty spot on. It was pretty good. I would love to see that again, honestly. Like it was good. Like I wish they would have put Cody at another number so he could do it, but now it just looks like, oh, you didn't do much work. You know what I mean? Like
I think part of that they were trying to preempt like people thinking that Sami was going to be in because they like it kind of was like, oh, Cody's the last guy out. Like everyone knew Cody was going to be in, and by like 29 he wasn't. So people were like, oh, okay, so number 30 is going to be Cody, and that's kind of a way to preempt it, you know?
right. I mean, but it was cool. It was no big deal about it. It was. I mean, I'm like I said, I like Cody. I do, but we kind of already knew that was gonna happen. We called it like 2 weeks before it happened.
Called it like 2 years before it happened.
True.
Adrenaline and resolve. I won the Royal Rumble. That's basically his promo when he came out on Raw the next
Pretty
night.
much.
Thoughts on Rhea Ripley though winning the Women's Royal Rumble?
Now that one kind of took me by surprise. I'm not gonna lie. That one kind of, because honestly, at first I couldn't honestly decide who I thought was gonna win. But then Raquel Gonzalez, I kind of thought she was gonna win.
I believe, sir. I believe you mean, in the words of Michael Cole, Raquel Rodriguez. Sorry, wait, how does it say? It's Raquel Rodriguez? Rodriguez?
Yeah,
It's not Rodriguez. It's Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Not
Raquel
Gonzalez.
Rodriguez.
Not Gonzalez. It's Gonzalez. But no, I kind of thought it was gonna be her. And I thought that would have been great too. But Rhea Ripley really kind of surprised me. Actually, it really, really surprised me. And can we talk 1 second about my girl coming back?
Michelle
What's her
McCool.
name?
Please don't
No,
tell me you're talking about Michelle McCool.
no, not Michelle McCool. Rock's cousin.
Yes, your girl. Okay. You own
So
that, sir. You own that.
no, the reason I say that it was so funny because
She ain't like
that was
most
the
girls.
greatest line. It was the greatest line I've heard describe anybody. It was your boy Pat McAfee, a $50 million smile on a wrecking ball. That was the great when he was describing her. He said she looked when she said, "Look at that smile." Yeah, there's a $50 million smile on a human wrecking ball. It was the greatest thing I've ever heard anyone describe anyone with. It was hilarious. Oh, that was funny. I miss Pat McAfee. I really did miss Pat McAfee.
Nia Jax
So
did return at the Royal Rumble. That is true. We'll move
that
on
was
from that.
the funniest way. Oh my god, I love him. I love her too. I think she's funny.
I think it's hilarious. Could you imagine Pat McAfee made an anti-vax joke like about Nia Jax?
I knew that's what you were going for when you were talking about it,
Oh,
but
God,
I just didn't say anything. But dude, if he'd have made one, I probably would have.
she's
I,
not
I
like
probably would
most girls who get their routine flu shots. Like I don't know.
I wouldn't have been able to watch the rest of the show, dude. I'd have been done.
Dying laughing. Yeah. Well, could you imagine they did that for like Lacey Evans? You saw Lacey Evans' like Twitter controversy like a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
She tweeted something like very erroneous, saying that like all processed foods cause like like mental illness in children or something like
Yeah, something like
ADHD
that.
and
Yeah.
autism, and it was just like no scientific evidence. It was like an Alex Jones clip, uh, and people were just like, "Man, Lacey, what are you doing?" like,
Why are
you,
you ruining things?
look. If it's a character thing, she's all in on
Oh
the
yeah,
the
she's definitely.
the right wing Karen character. Although Chelsea Green's giving her a run for her money with her. Can I speak to your manager gimmick?
I love Chelsea Green. She is hilarious, dude.
The app she goes up
Just
to Adam Pearce on Raw. It's like, excuse me, are you the manager?
you manager here.
I love it. I love it.
I really want to see your boy. Woo woo woo! I really want to see my boy, but we'll see when it happens.
Oh, he's gonna be like he's gonna be like the annoyed husband or something like that. It's just like,
Probably.
oh god, all right. Okay, come on, Karen. I mean Chelsea. Let's go. Please call me Karen.
I could see that happening actually.
Yeah.
But you asked my reaction. What was your reaction on Rhea Ripley winning?
Uh,
Was that who you picked or?
who else was gonna win that thing? You're gonna have like look at the end. I was like, there was a little bit of me at the end when they were doing that spot where Rio was like on the rope and like
Right.
with Liv Morgan. I was like, we could have Liv win here. I was like,
And I'm okay with that too. I was okay with that because that's what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, so it's not a Raquel, so is it gonna be Liv?
yeah. Ryan says, has WWE ever had a woman in win both the men and women's Royal Rumble? I mean, no, because the women's Royal Rumble's only been around since 2018, and the only
Yeah.
person who's been in both was Nia Jax, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
had no chance,
No
no
chance.
chance in hell to win
Yep.
either one.
Neither one.
Yep.
This is a wrestling thing, but I will answer your question, Ryan. Um, who do you want to win the March Madness tournament this year? It's
Probably
a little too
LSU.
early to tell.
Probably LSU.
LSU or Notre Dame.
Two teams that are not going to win the March Madness tournament. I'm pretty sure
I
Notre
know that.
Dame. Hold up. What's Notre Dame's
I don't even
record?
think they're good this year. I don't even
No,
think they're
they're
good this
no,
year
they're,
at
no,
all.
they're not. They just lost to Louisville.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
they're good at
oh
all.
no. Sorry, they beat Louisville. 13th. Oh, they're in 13th place in their
That's their place.
conference.
Yeah.
They're
Like I
two
said, I
and
didn't think they were
nine.
good at all this year.
They're 2-9 in the conference. That ain't great.
Sheesh. I haven't really watched anything yet recently. I normally watch college basketball. I haven't really watched college basketball recently. Um, yeah. What are you, a Maryland fan?
Oh, big. I'm a big time Maryland fan.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting because like Maryland, like we perennially have like really good like recruiting classes, but like
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
always
Maryland
we're
has.
always good enough to like get in the tournament, but never good enough to advance in it at all. So we'll see. I mean, we're 14-7 right now. We're doing our
Not bad.
thing.
Not bad at all. My
No,
family.
we're butt in the Big Ten. We're like
Oh,
4-5 or
fourth.
something like that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
4-5 in the conference. It's not great. We're
No, not at all.
almost as bad
My
as Notre Dame.
family always home guys. So like my grandfather was a huge Georgetown and Maryland fan. We came to basketball. Always liked them.
Yeah. So
Grew up
sorry to hear
knowing that
that.
about them. Yeah, me too. So yeah. But anyway,
Let's see how your LS doo
LS
doo the LS doo doo Bulldog or fucking what are they, Tigers?
Tigers. Tigers. You gonna talk
LSU.
shit about them? No, the mascot.
It's like you can talk about the team, but don't you dare make fun of the mascot. All right.
uh,
Liam says, unlike Omer's attitude before I left, the Twitter thread was so good. Liam says, "Hey Omar, did I not say that the Rumble would not just see Sami leave the Bloodline, but Jay too? I was right. Damn you, son. You were.
yeah, it was. It was.
I mean, yes. Yeah, you were right. What do you want? You want an award or something? No, you don't get one.
What's a cookie?
What's
What's a
cookie?
cookie?
What cookie? I got some cough drops for you. I don't know. What are we talking about? I think we've exhausted the
Royal
Rumble.
Rumble.
We've exhausted the Rumble. You got any other thoughts on the Rumble? What'd you think of Hardy? What did you think of when they said the audacity of WWE to promise Hardy? They were like, "Oh, Hardy's gonna be here live," and I'm like, "Wait, Hardy? Jeff Hardy?" Like,
Jeff Hardy, right? That's what I thought too.
and then they bring out this jabroni like wannabe country music star to put on like the worst performance I've ever seen. It was so bad. Like
That's terrible.
not only did I like mute it, I like switched. I exited the Royal Rumble on the Peacock on my phone, or not on my phone on my TV, and I started watching like an episode of That 70s Show. And you know what? I got through the rest of that episode of That 70s Show, and Hardy was still performing. That was a long performance, man.
Jesus, that's a 20-minute, 30-minute show.
It was almost as long as the damn Rumble.
Jeez. Because I did not watch that at all. I refused. So, yeah.
Yeah, you weren't the only one.
One thing. I'm sorry, not to interrupt. One thing I was gonna interject. Did you listen to interview done with Seth Rollins? um right before the Rumble, actually, where they asked him a couple interesting questions.
Um. I think I know it. You're talking about the Nick Hausman one.
Yeah, when they talked about CM Punk.
Yes. We look, sir. Yes. I saw it. If you guys want, I can actually. I have the audio. I think pulled up. I can actually play it. So this was Seth Rollins interviewed by Nick Hausman of Wrestling Inc. Great reporter on
Yep.
wrestling.
Good
Talking
guy.
about he asked him about CM Punk. Take a listen. Let's take a listen now. Okay, hold up.
Yep. Back
That
up a little bit.
yeah. Well, give me a sec. I wasn't prepared to do this.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. So, hey, in the meantime, guys, hit that like button, subscribe, all that
Subscribe.
jazz.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Let's okay, so this was Seth freaking Rollins asked when he was asked about CM Punk potentially returning to WWE. Let's have a listen.
You want to come back and hang out with us?
Well, I know you're a Midwest boy with ROH roots. We don't know what's going on with CM Punk, but you guys have had some barn burners in WWE. Would you like to see Phil Brooks back in WWE?
Oh, Philly Phil, stay away. Stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't like Phil. I don't like Phil. He's a jerk. Oh, did we just figure that out? No, everybody in the room is like, oh no, dude, did he say that? Yeah, no, he's a jerk. Come on, we figured it out over there. We knew it over here. I don't want him back. Go do something else. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later.
Later.
So there you go. That was Seth freaking Rollins on CM Punk. Okay. I want to be clear here. I feel like it was pretty obvious he was working. He was in full character. Like the outfit he was wearing was absolutely ridiculous.
It was super ridiculous. He was wearing a cowboy hat and he said he stole it from Brock Lesnar, which is funny.
Imagine Orange Cassidy with that Brock Lesnar cowboy hat. That's what he looked like.
Yeah, he definitely did. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was very funny. They actually don't have the best rapport with each other, so that's what also made it even funnier. But it was obviously a work. Obviously a work.
Bro, if CM Punk actually ever came back, the first person who's gonna ask for a match with him is Seth Rollins because he's been working this angle for years.
They've had amazing matches together. Amazing matches. I mean, again, they're not each other's favorite people, but still amazing matches.
Yep. But I actually do think. What do you think about CM Punk? Real quick, what do you think about CM Punk? You think because we're coming up to the time where his injury is about healing up. You would think. I think in the next few months we'll kind of get an answer as to what they want to do with him. The report came out that Tony Khan kind of put him on ice. That was the report, and he's just kind of waiting to see how things play out. What do you think ends up happening with Punk? You think they end up cutting him?
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, right? There has to be some type of punishment, right? For what he did, what happened, I guess. I mean, the Elite, we saw them suspended for a little while. They came back, right? You can't lie and say the man doesn't draw people. He draws a crowd, whether it's positive or negative or not. He draws a crowd. Is he cancer in the locker room? Yes, has been most of his career. But is he a decent worker? Yes. Will he put butts in the seats? Yes. Now the question is, can you deal with this diva in the background in the locker room? Will people want to work with him? Will other wrestlers want to work with him? Will other wrestlers respect him enough that they won't try to break his damn neck in the back in the locker room? That's what you have to worry about. You have to think as an owner and a manager, you have to think what's best for business. Now, if people can get over what has happened, then keeping CM Punk is definitely best for business. Because, like I said, he's gonna put butts in the seats. He is. People love CM Punk. But at the other token, you have a lot of butt seat fillers in your organization already. Could you take that hit and not keep him? Probably, but you got to figure it out. I think it's at this point it's all up to Tony Khan and how things work out. And you're laughing at what I said.
You said butt fillers.
Butt seat fillers.
Yeah,
I love that we're 12.
Liam in the chat says Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins at Mania. Yeah, that's the angle. Yes, that's gonna happen.
The angle.
I think Rollins' interview last night kind of confirmed it. Where he was asked about it, and he's like, and he walked away. I swear to God, that's exactly what he did. I was not it was basically I played the audio from Raw just now, where it's like he walks.
That pretty much was what it was.
Going back to Punk, I agree with you here. I think that he the big thing is he needs to apologize to the locker room.
Right.
And it needs to be like a real sincere apology. It can't be like, I'm here and I'm CM Punk. And Hangman Adam Page is an empty headed. No, you can't be doing that. Can't be doing any of
Right.
that. Um but I do think that there's like my thing is this. If you can find a way, you got to make it work. There's too much money. There's too much. Trevor, riddle me this. Let's just fantasy book with me real quick.
Okay.
It's Revolution, AEW Revolution 2023 in San Jose, California, wherever it is, Chase Center,
Right.
wherever that is.
Right.
And MJF, after a grueling hour-long Iron Man match, defeats Bryan Danielson, retains his title, is celebrating, and then the lights go out. And then you just hear played on the Titantron or in the arena. Okay. And it's Tony Khan's voice. Okay, so this is my last offer. You agree that you will forfeit but you will return to work at Revolution. And then
I mean, that would be amazing.
and
That would be amazing.
And he interrupts MJF's celebration. I'm just saying. Just saying.
I mean,
It's on the table.
It's the world of professional wrestling, right? Anything can happen. On every given day, anything can happen. Because let's just be honest, no one thought Logan Paul was going to return to the Royal Rumble. I didn't think he was healed enough. Logan Paul literally broke himself. Like, all jokes aside,
Rogan Paul. Could you imagine?
Rogan Paul.
I'm just imagining Joe Rogan and Logan Paul having a baby. Wow, that would be a very what a problematic child that would be.
Jesus. But yeah, dude, look, Logan Paul broke himself. Literally, I'm surprised he's back. But I mean, good to see him back, but just surprised. So anything can happen in pro wrestling. Did you read the Liam thing?
Prison Dom versus Trevor Taman at WrestleMania 40. By the time WrestleMania 40 comes around, Trevor's going to be 80 years old.
No, I will actually be 40.
No, so you're as old as WrestleMania.
Yeah, it started in 1984.
It's a great way to remember your age.
It is. That's the only way I do.
By the way, you want to hear my fantasy booking for Prison Dom? If they want to go all in on the Prison Dom, he's a gangster now, like type of thing. Well, he faces his dad at WrestleMania, which I think is going to be the eventual match. How awesome would it be, right? Because they've always leaned in a bit to the Eddie Guerrero thing. How awesome would it be if like he comes out to Gangsta Lane, which was like Eddie's heel theme song in 2005? You know the one, it's about time I step into the Gangsta Lane.
I actually really like that song a lot. Yeah.
The funniest thing about that song was his Titantron, Eddie's Titantron, was just him beating the ever living crap out of Rey Mysterio. That's all it was. Like, and they should do the same thing. It's just be Dom beating the crap out of Rey Mysterio with him coming out the Gangsta Lane at WrestleMania. Like, that would be cool. That would be super cool.
No, he had the Prison Dom, but the one above that with after Logan this year, if 2024 Royal Rumble doesn't have Trevor Taman at 29, I'm out. I would have to do a lot of training, Liam.
A lot of training. You'd have to. There's a lot of things that would have to go right for that to happen.
Yeah, gotta lose a lot of weight.
Not even. That's the least of your worries, sir. You have to learn how to take a bump.
Yeah, I don't know how to take a bump. I know how to take a bump, but not properly.
We should take a field trip together. We should take a field trip to a wrestling school one day.
You know what? That would be fun. Actually, we should film it too.
It would not be fun, but it would be hilarious.
No, it would suck, but it'd be a fun thing.
I don't know about you. I'm not taking no chops. I don't care. Like, I'm not taking no chops.
Dude, Just thinking about that right
See, no,
now.
you got the resistance for it. I don't. This is a very flat chest. I'm an A cup. I'm a negative A cup, bro. Like this is a very flat chest.
I'm a B.
See, resistance,
And I also have muscle there too. So
resistance. Well, this show's going pretty well. We got Darius and the Jets saying Jey Uso getting released from WWE after the Royal Rumble. What?
Wow.
Sir.
Who did that?
I don't think it's gonna happen. Before we start to wrap up, Trevor, I did want to touch very quickly on the passing of Jay Briscoe, former Ring of Honor World Champion, I believe 13-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, the current one half of the current Tag Team Champions, with his brother Mark. He obviously passed away just about 2 weeks ago in a tragic accident. They just had his funeral service this past weekend. They have, yeah. I caught Mark's eulogy of him, and it was
same. Yeah.
It was very on brand for Mark, and it was really nice.
That's like, there you go. It's okay, Dad.
Nope.
Oh, there we go.
Nope. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I caught Mark Briscoe's comments and his eulogy for his brother. It was very nice. It was very heartwarming. That I don't know why that isn't going away. But
yeah,
there we go. I don't.
No, I'm gone. That's okay. No one wants to see my face anyway.
You'll come. I'm sure you'll come back.
One of these days. Yeah.
One of these days. Anyway, I'll try to get you back. But in the meantime, Trevor, if you could just share your thoughts on Jay Briscoe and what he meant to pro wrestling, what he meant to pro wrestling fans, I think that would be really insightful.
So as most people know, I'm a huge indie fan. Love indie wrestling. It was a big part of my life for a long time actually. One of my first Briscoe matches happened actually, like I was telling Omer, the night of the Eddie Kingston fiasco. It was
I love how Briscoe, that's what we're calling it, the Eddie Kingston fiasco.
Or the incident. But no, it was
someone please go on Wrestling Wiki and make that like page, the Eddie Kingston incident and tag.
That'd be hilarious, dude. Please do. I would. Yeah, please do. So it was the last match of the night. Eddie Kingston and them came on first, and then Briscoes came on. And I'd heard of Briscoes, never really seen the Briscoes at that point in time. And they had a match against Agent of Fall, which is a stable that included a bunch of names: Delirious, Necro Butcher, Zach Gowen, Tyler Black, aka Seth Rollins, a bunch of guys, and it was Necro Butcher and Delirious of Agent of Fall, and it was pretty much a no holds barred pinfalls count anywhere match type thing. And dude, when they got in that ring, all you heard was reach for the sky, and they came running down, boys. And they came running down this ramp, and when they get in that ring, a light turns on, and it's a switch turns on, and they are the greatest wrestlers in that ring. They're the greatest talent in that ring. Like outside of that ring, he's the nicest guy. He signed a chair for my buddy. Like he sat there and talked to us for a second, because incidentally, I almost got hit with a flying chair. But and like I was sitting in a chair, he comes over, he said, "Can I get that?" Gave it to him, hit Necro Butcher with it. Like he he was one of the nicest humans possible. He loved wrestling just as only thing he loved more than wrestling was his family. And he was a great brother from things I've heard Mark say. And he was the oldest, right?
Yeah, he was the older brother, and
Yeah.
it's so sad. So he passed away the day before Mark's 38th birthday,
Yep.
and just about a week before his 39 would have been his 39th birthday.
Yeah, they were very close in age. They're actually um uh Jay is actually my age. We were born the same month. I mean same year, I'm sorry. Um and like what Mark must be going through. I never try to be like, oh, I know what you're going through, even though technically I do. I lost my brother years ago, when I was 22, and I literally just met my brother when I was 15, and like we clicked. That was my ride or die. Like that was my best friend, so I can completely understand what Mark's going through. Like it's sad. It's a sad thing to go through. Mark has done a great job keeping it together in his matches and his speeches. Um,
His
you know,
match on
my
Dynamite with Jay Lethal was like insanely
it
good.
was dude like it and like he was same old Mark, right? Like, and honestly, we've always talked about the Briscoes. We've done it on this show plenty of times how great of a tag team they are and how they're probably arguably one of the best tag teams in the world. But what we don't recognize, and a lot of fans kind of pass it over, how good Jay was in singles competition. Like he might have been one of the greatest single tag team to singles wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Like it was just like I said, like a switch. It was just night and day. He was so good. But Mark too. Both of them very good in the ring by themselves, is equally as they are with each other. Um, it's I mean his impact that he had on wrestling is speaks for itself. I mean, look, just the picture you just showed of Mark holding up both belts on AEW. Like the whole locker room was out there. Half of them were in tears. Half of them couldn't even talk.
Hell, I was
Like,
in tears. Like during
yeah, same.
that match, right? Like I was like it was emotional already. Like and like I'm very honest like about like like the emotional part of pro wrestling, like what it means to me. But like man, like
Right.
it wasn't until I saw all the people come out, right? Like at the end and give Mark a standing ovation. Like that's what the water was flowing like from this guy. Like it was just so emotional.
Right. Like it's just one of those things, man. Like I always say at the end of the show, I always say, hug those who are close and love those who are far. And this goes without saying. Like I have two brothers at the moment. I had three, and I see my brother almost every Friday, and I hug him, just a little tighter every once in a while. We may not see eye to eye, but I hug him a little tighter because of this. Like this is just it's a sad occurrence, and it happens. And for those of you who haven't, I'm waiting on mine now. Go to AEWshot.com, purchase the Jay Briscoe t-shirt. All proceeds go to their family. Um, I'm personally waiting on mine, and will definitely wear it with pride. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his little girls. Mark, man, keep your head up, buddy. And those who Jay may have touched and affected, and I'm sure he affected a lot of people in the wrestling community. So yeah,
Yeah, and I do want to, and like I'm obviously like I'm not sure like what is and isn't like I know that a lot of people is weird because like you read about it is sad to me that like when we read about Jay Briscoe or when we talk about Jay Briscoe, like one of the things that you almost always have to bring up even indirectly, like even Bruce Coleman or not Chris Colvin, Riccaboni on commentary, Ian Riccaboni on commentary during the tribute match brought it up. Like Jay was a man who looked within himself and bettered himself, right?
Right.
And that's a great thing. That is like if we're gonna remember Jay Briscoe and that whole incident, I think that should be the takeaway. But I'm a lot of the discourse online, like I am kind of irked by the fact that like people kind of define him by that incident still to this day and what he did, right? Because look,
Right.
if we are all defined by the stupidest thing we did in our lives, like a lot of us would be idiots, which we could argue most of us are. But in all seriousness, like what he said and what he said was god awful. Like there's no denying
Yeah.
that. Like and no one should ever deny that. Like what he said, like I don't care. I know there are like people out there like, oh well, he had the freedom of speech to do whatever he want, do. Well, no, screw you. Even Jay Briscoe admitted like that what
How
he
bad
said
it
was
was.
terrible, how bad it was, and it's like when you would listen to the way and the nuance with which he explained like why what he did was wrong, he got it. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like even one of those, it was like like he talked about how he misinterpreted his own religion because the Briscoe family is very religious, and he's
Yep.
like I misinterpreted my own religion, and I like and he has done so much to even till his like until his passing, was doing so much to just spread love for everyone and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And the sad part is we never got to see. I mean, obviously the sad part is he's gone, but one of the other like obviously lesser sad parts, I guess, is that you never got to see him on a major wrestling show. Like we
Well,
never got to see him in WWE. You never got to see him in AEW proper. And it is sad from a wrestling standpoint, from just a pure wrestling standpoint, because I remember for me when I had always known that Ring of Honor was a thing, and I would watch clips and I would watch old clips, right? Like I got into Brian Danielson back in like 2008, and like a lot of
Okay.
his really good stuff that he did with Ring of Honor was like between 2000 like 4-ish 2005 really is when he came
That's
onto
around
the
the
scene.
time I started traveling to see him myself, actually, around that 07, 09 mark in that area.
Yeah, and but I was never a guy. I never watched Ring of Honor like weekly or anything like that until I was just flipping through channels one day and I saw it. And the first like I am not, this is not hyperbole. I shit you not. The first thing I saw was Jay Briscoe. It's like 2013. Jay Briscoe with the ROH title cutting a promo, and I was like, this dude. And like,
Right.
and he was like this. He was like this, like low down redneck, like just like like I was like, what is this? And then he would speak, and you're like, what? What? Like it was just he was so captivating and like so charismatic, even like when he would just come to the ring, and I was like, so I really got introduced to the Briscoes as tag team, or not. Sorry, not as a tag team, but I got introduced to Jay Briscoe as a singles guy before I got introduced as the Briscoes as a tag team. So for me, I always remember Jay Briscoe as former ROH World Champion Jay Briscoe, right? Like that's what the first like memory of him is for me, and um. I don't know, like that run was so. I mean, obviously it's not going to be underrated anymore, but like I feel like it was just such an underrated run 'cause he was so
Oh yeah,
good in that spot, and
so good,
obviously
man.
we can't talk about the match that he had with Redacted, um, uh, Michael Elgin.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you knew. But we can't talk about, like, that match, but, like, I mean, he had so many other great matches. Ladder Wars with El Generico and,
Dude,
like
that was that was insane. Ladder Wars was so good. Oh my god. And that's what you remember about the Briscoes and Jay and it's just uh it's crazy. It's nuts. Like they were so out of pocket, as people would say, or off. Like they were so up here, and like everyone else was catching up. It was crazy. Like in that match that I saw, they threw like 20 chairs in the ring, and they were literally wrestling, standing on chairs at this point, like suplexing each other on chairs. It was insane. Like I will remember him for that, man. Like it's just shame he's gone. I mean, not just for wrestling's sake, of course, but like you said it the best on your piece you did on him. Not a wrestler didn't just die. A man, a brother, a father, a son passed, and it's sad.
Big shout out to the Puke family, and also a big shout out to Jay Briscoe's daughter, who also was injured in that accident. And
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if you had any updates on that.
the
How they're
last time I heard that she did have like feeling in her extremities, so that's a good sign. But I honestly have not been updated. But still, regardless, I mean, my thoughts go out to that entire family. Like even the emotional,
absolutely
like just the physical toll, obviously, but, like the emotional trauma is just because you don't expect to lose someone in that manner. It's just horrifying.
no. Yeah,
But
unfortunately.
like you say, love those who are close, hug those who hug those who are close, love those who are far. There we go. It's a great motto to live by. I will say this from a wrestling standpoint, and like if there's anyone who's going to be able to carry the Briscoe name, it's going to be Mark. Mark, like
Absolutely.
he doesn't look like a world champion. Like that is not what you think of when you think of world champion, right there.
No, it's not either
Mark
one of them.
Briscoe.
But
That. But all in all seriousness, man, Mark Briscoe is a hell of a guy. I you never know, but I do think we'll end up seeing that moment with him capturing a singles title, and it'll be cool.
yeah, definitely.
Well,
Be
damn.
fun to watch.
I hope this has been fun to watch. Guys, yeah, we've had a time. Trevor, what you watching lately?
What am I watching lately? You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been so busy with certain things. I ain't watched a bit of nothing. But um, I've been watching. I've been catching up on some stuff because they're about to take it off. I think they may have already taken it off. Peacock. You know the indie shows they had on Peacock for
Oh yeah,
WWE.
yeah, those are coming off. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of the ICW things like that.
Santino's in NWA. What?
Oh, Santino. Oh, Santino's in TNA. I don't know if he's in
No,
NWA.
no, and I have like a screen grab of Santino is officiating a wedding right now in NWA.
Oh God, whose wedding?
I can't. This is Reverend Sam Space Tino. I'm so done. Sam
I'm
Tino.
upset.
I'm
I'm
upset.
upset.
Although I will say, him being the what was he? What was he? The director of authority of Impact Wrestling. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Yeah, this from all accounts, NWA is not doing well right now.
No, no, no. If you're first off, you have a wedding on your and Santino is officiating it.
It's just it just it's Damien Sandow's wedding too. Like it's not even like
Is that angle they're doing? Okay. Oh God.
it's Damien or whatever. What's his name right now? Aaron Stevens or whatever. Aaron,
Arius
like,
Solo? I think so.
who cares? It's Damien Sandow's wedding. What is happening?
Hey, I actually like Damien Sandow. I hate what they did with him. I actually love Damien Sandow.
I love Damien Sandow. Don't get me wrong, but like, man, NWA is such a joke right now.
It
My
is.
G, Tyrus is still your world champion.
Yeah.
Like my G, what's his name? Billy Corgan, fix that, please. Like, oh, he's not gonna fix that. He loves that.
You know he does.
Yeah, he's anyway.
Matt
Whatever.
Cardona's not showing up to places.
God help us all. The NWA was they were on such a roll. They were on such a roll, and then it's just
Then this happened. Yeah.
gone. Anyway, whatever. Who cares?
Apparently no one.
Rapid fire with me real quick, Trevor.
You got it.
Where does oh my God, what's his name? It's not Brutus Magnus anymore.
Sheesh.
Nick Aldis. Where does Nick Aldis end up?
And
WWE,
probably
AEW.
AEW probably. I don't think he'll go to WWE. He might surprise me though.
We got Film Nation Wrestling fan in the chat. Welcome, Film Nation Wrestling fan, saying, "Hello, gentlemen. How's it going?" It's going pretty well for me.
Oh, pretty good. How are you?
Film Nation Wrestling fan says NXT is on right now. Oh, we know. That's why we're doing the show.
We're aware. Yeah, that's what we're doing this show.
We're for the people. We're for the people in general.
But,
and then we're also for the people who don't watch NXT.
My brother that watched this says, he asked me last week, he was like, "You guys doing the show today?" No, not today. He goes, "Damn, I wanted to watch it while I listened to NXT."
I wanted to watch. I love that. I wanted to watch your podcast about pro wrestling while I listened to NXT. That is hilarious.
Oh God, that's funny.
We got beautiful fans out there. Well, this has been a show.
It's been a show. It's been something.
Yes, I should probably go eat food after this.
You should go eat food after this.
Yes, a reminder to everyone: eat a hearty breakfast at 8:30 p.m. at night.
Yeah, it's good for the something.
Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Trevor, parting thoughts.
This is the type of humor. This is the type of quality show we give you every week, ladies and gentlemen. Good to be with you guys. You know, thanks for putting up with our shenanigans and whatever the hell that is. We love you guys, and we'll hope to bring you not so terrible content in the future.
What he said. Be sure to follow Trevor on Twitter at TRVERTE. I messed it up. Oh, there we go. Be sure to follow Trevor. It took me like 18 weeks, or not even 18. I think it was like 80 weeks or whatever.
And you finally messed it up. Now I have to change it.
Be sure to follow Trevor on Twitter at TREVERTAINMENT. Be sure to follow at RealTakeW on Twitter at RealTakeW for all your wrestling updates whenever I have time to actually tweet. But yeah, mostly follow Trevor. He's got some good stuff, I think, sometimes whenever he does tweet.
Yeah, I need to tweet more. Anyway.
No, you don't. No one needs to tweet more. Everyone get off Twitter. Actually, don't follow us. Get off Twitter, please. And not because of Elon Musk, just in general, get off social media. Like, except YouTube. Never get off YouTube or Instagram.
No, YouTube is fine.
Or TikTok. Yeah. Anywhere where I have a platform, don't get up. So don't stay on social media. And on that note, contradictory advice. Wouldn't have it any other way. Until next time, everyone. Be happy, be healthy, and keep it real. All right, now they're gone. Marks, man. Like, I swear. Like they think we like them. They think
especially that Liam guy.
That Liam guy, like, look at this jabroni in the chat. Chris Sutton. What a loser.
That guy. What a loser.
Cece thinks we're friends saying goodnight to us. Could you imagine?
Imagine we were friends with him.
Could you imagine that? Like, dude, so glad we're not in the air.
Me too.
We're still on the air. Until next time, keep it real. We love you.